Things are heating up now, guys. We're getting close to the end of the first arc of Season 1 of Digimon Digital Monsters. Today's video is Season 1, Episode 9. This will be about Episode 8.
Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon into champions. Digimon into ultimate. Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon.
And before I start talking about it, I just want to say, once again, thanks for all your support on this series. It does mean a lot to me. Okay, now, before I start actually talking about the episode, I want to mention that there are 3 significant things about this series, like, about Episode 8 of Season 1. The first is the appearance of 2 recurring characters. The second is the appearance of the first major villain of the series. And the third is the first time the kids are called the Digidestined by the first main villain. Okay, now getting into the actual storyline of the episode. How this one starts off, it starts off with Joe's voice saying,
"This place could really use a good bus system." Yeah, but it looks like we're at the end of the line. We're doomed. Trapped on an island. We'll never get out of here alive. I knew I wouldn't like camp, but would my folks listen to me? No. I wanted to go to summer school.
And this is significant in the fact that it shows up with the first 2 recurring characters. The first of the 2 recurring characters is a good Digimon called Leomon.
You may be mighty, but now you face me. Your kind-hearted leadership is unimpressive.
Which is basically a lion-like Digimon whose special attack is called Fist of the Beast King, which is basically a orange lion thing that he shoots out of his hand. The second one is Ogremon.
You are truly the most evil of the bad Digimon. There is no limit to your ruthlessness.
No one asked you here. No one wants you here. I strongly suggest that you go now while you still can.
The endless attack of black gears which keep dropping from this mountain is transforming perfectly peaceful, innocent Digimon into monsters. And I have come here to make it stop.
What a joke. You have been warned. Both of you, stop. Cease this foolishness.
Which is Leomon's rival. That's the first major thing about the episode. The second major thing about the episode is it's the appearance of the first major villain of the first arc of Season 1, which is called Devimon.
I command that the 2 of you work together for me, not fight. You will work for me.
I'll never do that.
Neither will I. Be silent. For I am Devimon, ultimate ruler of the demon underworld. You must obey my every command.
And just a quick heads up on him, you guys. He's actually the controller of the black gears. And the last thing that's significant about this episode is it's the first time the kids are called the Digidestined by Devimon.
Sir, you don't need that, Joker. I can handle whatever you want done without anyone's assistance. I think not. It is the Digidestined kids we'll be fighting.
The Digidestined? Where are they?
They're already here on Infinity Mountain. Now find them and destroy the entire group.
Destroy them? I'll destroy you for having threatened the Digidestined! Fist of the Beast King!
Freeze, Leomon. I am not requesting your cooperation. I am demanding it. Prepare for the touch of evil. Now you will obey my every command.
He was in a trance. He's like, yes, I will obey. And then it shifts back to the scene with the kids on the mountain, and Ogremon notices that Ty's wondering what Ty's doing, and Ty says that he's making a map of the island. That way they'll know where they are and where they've already been and stuff. And then Izzy suggests that works in theory, but when he looks at the paper that he's writing on, he's like, "What? Did you say map or mess?" And then Matt makes a little joke. He's like, "No question, man. You are the dude of doodle." And then what happens is Sora states that if they follow that map, it'll lead straight to like a headache. And then what happens is Ty's defending himself with the map. He's like, "Well, I can read it just fine, and that's all that's really important." And then what happens is Joe's complaining again. He's like, "We don't need a map to know that we're totally lost. I figured that out a long time ago." And then what happens is Mimi's kind of realizing something. She's like, "I just found out that these gloves don't really go with this dress." And then what happens is Palamon's saying that's kind of sad, and then they hear a noise on the other side of the mountaintop, and then Matt's wondering what the noise is, and then Joe's kind of worried. He's like, "I don't know, but I have a feeling we'll have to wait here to find out." And then what happens is, what happens after that is Sora's explaining that at least it won't be like a long wait, and then what happens after that is they see Leomon coming up, and Patamon's telling them not to worry.
Don't worry, Leomon is our friend. With big teeth. He just uses them for smiling.
He's a just leader and role model for all Digimon.
I want the children.
Huh?
Call me paranoid, but I think it's time we run!
Oh no! My map! Ty, come back! Forget the map! Pepper breath! Sorry about your map.
That's okay. At least it didn't fall into the hands of the enemy.
Don't slow down, Joe. He's right behind us.
And just where do you think you're going? Well, children, so good of you to stop by.
He look hungry to you? We're too small to eat, and I'm full of junk food. Well, he's not against a little snack.
Make it easy on yourselves. Give up now, or else.
I don't see an exit door.
This proves the theory that well-executed teamwork is efficient even for bad guys.
And Leomon is stating like that Leomon has always been Ogremon's worst enemy, and she's wondering what's happened to him and stuff. And then Ogremon and Leomon jump at the Digidestined, and then it goes to the scene where they're digivolving, and 3 of the Digimon partners that are on one side digivolve to attack Leomon, and the other 3 digivolve to attack Ogremon. And then when it goes past the scene where they're digivolving, Devimon's like, "They've all digivolved!" And then they start attacking and using their attacks and stuff, and then Ty's telling them to everybody work together now, and then Devimon's thinking to himself, "They've learned the secret to teamwork. This group of 6 is attacking together is quite dangerous. But why hasn't the Patamon digivolved?" And then Greymon tries to use his Nova Blast attack again, but then some rocks fall from the ground, which fall toward them, and they happen to, and then the Digimon stop them. And then what happens after that is Ty's asking if everyone's okay, and then Matt makes a little joke. He's like, "Oh yeah, like a day at the beach." And then what happens is after that, Mimi's saying that she thinks she needs a facial and stuff. And then what happens after that is Ty looks over in the direction where Agumon is, and he's like, "What? Agumon, speak to me." And then Agumon's explaining that they're not wounded, they're just a little exhausted and stuff. And then Ty's saying like, "2 Digivolutions in one day, no wonder." And then Sora's worried about Beomon, and then they're wondering where Leomon and Ogremon went. And then later on, after discussion with things and stuff, Ty is confused at something. He's like, Agumon's wondering why he's confused. He's like, and then he's like, something bothering you? And then Ty's like, it's that avalanche. I can't figure out what set it off. And then Izzy acts a little sciencey. He's like, stress accumulates until a crack develops, and with excess weight, the terra firma suddenly isn't so firma. And then what happened, but I'll just explain to you guys what happened with the avalanche. Devimon kind of actually blasted it loose. And then what happens is, there's a small thinking scene from Devimon. He's like, they are more powerful than I suspected, but I shall strike while they are exhausted and destroy them all. And then it shifts to the scene where they're in the forest, and then
Twice in one day.
Well, it was sure lucky for us that they were able to do it.
I think the Digimon are growing stronger. I wonder if that's a normal part of their evolution, or if we are bringing out something special in them.
A fascinating hypothesis. If only we could test it.
I think today was too much for them.
Palmon's looking very tired. I've been tired before, don't worry. Admit it, Palmon. We need to stop and rest.
You know, to be perfectly honest, I think that would be a good idea for all of us.
Rest where? I don't want to sleep on the ground.
Look! A mansion!
Or maybe it's a hotel. Come on!
We may have found other life forms. Look at the grounds. I mean, somebody had to have mowed the lawn.
What a place! I can't believe my eyes. It's just too good to be true.
in the hotel, they're going to sleep, and then Devimon thinks to himself, it was so easy to deceive them. Even the Digidestined appear to have childish and simple minds. And then what happens after that is basically he's asking Leomon and Ogremon if they're ready to fight and stuff, and then later on Ty's going to the bathroom area, and then what happens after that is they find Devimon, and then he makes a little remark. He's like, I have no further use for this imaginary building, and he dissolves it. And basically what happens after that is he sends them all onto different islands, and he said that the kids happen upon the tiny island in the digital world, which is basically just a fragment of the old world. And what happens after that is he says that they pretend to be strangers but know nothing of what happened, but he knows that they're the Digidestined and stuff. And then after that he splits the island apart after recapturing Leomon. And then what happens is, and there's another scene where them talking. He's like, the Digidestined survived our first encounter, but it won't be the last. I can promise them that. They must not interfere with my plans. They must be destroyed. Will you do this for me, Leomon? And then what happens is Leomon's possessed by Devimon again. He's like, your every order I shall obey. And that's basically where the episode ends. So if you guys like this video on YouTube, just give it the best you guys can, and give it a thumbs up and stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Keep it digital. How was that?
I hope they have a hot tub, just as long as it's not too hot.